Fellow Kenyans, let me tell you something. I am a well-grounded economist and well-known governance expert. Let me tell you something about this sovereign wealth fund. Sovereign wealth fund, the countries that have created sovereign wealth fund is like UAE, Norway, Sweden, among other countries that are actually enjoying their wealth. Sovereign wealth fund, it should be used to store surplus wealth. I repeat again, sovereign wealth fund should be used to store surplus wealth. Does Kenya have surplus? Because you look at here, Norway used their oil reserves to build sovereign wealth fund. That at the moment, if we are to close down Norway and give money to each and every individual, every Norwegian will go home with 270,000 shillings in their pocket. To each and every citizen, even if he's a young boy or a young child. For us, which surplus have we created? So creating a sovereign wealth fund, when we have a deficit, when we are borrowing, when you have a ballooning debt, is an economic, illogical decision made by the current administration. So Kenyans, don't be hoodwinked to the issue of creating sovereign wealth fund when you have a debt which has reached over 13 trillion shillings. How can on one side you have a debt over 13 trillion shillings, on this side your bank account is swelling with 15 trillion shillings? It doesn't make sense, my brothers. Our debt is 13 trillion Kenya shillings. How can you create a sovereign wealth fund of 5 trillion Kenya shillings? In every logical thing, before you save money, pay all your debt. You cannot be saving money on sovereign wealth fund when you have a debt which is unmanageable. Which, in a sense, we are spending 67 cents per shilling of revenue we generate to repay debt. And on this side, you are creating a sovereign wealth fund. You are selling your assets that can generate revenue for you to put them into sovereign wealth fund. It's like selling your heart to buy your kidney. You will die. It doesn't work. So that's the first thing. The second thing, that the structure of the sovereign wealth fund, the way I've read it and understood it, it is not oversighted by parliament. Sovereign wealth fund in other countries like Norway and Sweden should be like Caesar's wife. What do I mean by Caesar's wife? It cannot be manipulated till beyond reproach. It cannot be or interfered with. But the current sovereign wealth fund, Parliament does not oversee it. Of course, I know Parliament is useless at the moment because they are made of plutocrats, not technocrats. But for the sake of the next election, 2027, when we shall be having the right parliamentarians, we should ensure sovereign wealth fund can be oversighted by Parliament. Secondly, the current sovereign wealth fund is not looked at by the controller of budget and auditor general. How can you have a sovereign wealth fund that is inside State House, that the president can use whatever he wants? Whether that president is William Ruto, or it's going to be Fred Ogola, or anyone who will take over office after William Ruto, it is not well stated. We are not here to talk about ourselves, but we are here to talk about the future of this country. So Kenyans, mark my word, the sovereign wealth fund is not meant for you. It is meant to create wealth for somebody, and that person is selling your assets to put in the sovereign wealth fund, and you have no control of it. Even your elected leaders have no control of it, and therefore it's going to end up in tears for this country. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.